This is Dispatches from Myrtle Beach with Charles Neal and my son Link from Good Mythical Morning. How you doing, Link?
I'm doing good. On a scale of 1 to 10, I think I'm doing 8.5. Maybe I'm doing a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
Well, that's, a couple of 3 or 4 weeks ago, you was probably still on a 10 because you just come back from Hawaii. So that ain't too bad just to go down to a 9. And I was in the mountains. So the way I've been going, it's up. I'm probably just about an 8 today, but I'm doing pretty good. That's a good.
2 boys at 8s. That ain't nothing to sniff at. A lot to be grateful for.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Yeah. I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
Yeah. Everything's all peachy and cream because and the reason I said that, me and Nancy have been, in the summertime, we make a lot of homemade ice cream.
Uh-huh.
And when strawberries is in, we make strawberry. And when peaches is in, we make peach. And most of the time, it's just all back and forth. But this is not an ad for it, but we had this Cuisinart ice cream freezer downstairs in the house in the golf cart room.
Mm-hmm.
And she pulled this thing out about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And it's been making ice cream with this thing, and it's just enough for us to have a bowl or bowl and a half, and then you can put a little bit in the refrigerator. And Link, I hope I die. She made me some chocolate with Reese's Hershey's in it.
Oh, no. No, she didn't.
Ooh, baby.
Well, what? All these years of making ice cream homemade, like at Nana's house and you making it and TC making it, never once have y'all made chocolate.
No.
I grew up believing that you couldn't make homemade chocolate ice cream, that you had to buy it at the store. So why are we all holding back so much? Chocolate peanut butter ice cream? God.
Yeah. And she put some in the freezer and she come in there and after about 2 nights after she'd made it, I done eat it all. Mm.
See, because you love the fresh fruit in the ice cream. I'm not a fruit ice cream guy. That's why vanilla has always been my favorite. I love like that homemade vanilla that y'all would always make because it would have this like saltiness to it in addition to the sweetness and the creaminess. But
well, I am going to break your heart now. She started making vanilla. And Link, I mean to tell you, it's the best vanilla ice cream. I even told her, I said, honey, I don't even expect you to go and buy any more ice cream at the grocery store. Because when we need some vanilla ice cream, listen, you put this little can in the freezer and keep it froze. Yeah. And then when you want to make it, you take it out and where she mixes that stuff up and she'd have to give you the recipe and put it in there. And it takes about 15 minutes to make it. And then you can eat it right in the house. Ain't got all that salt, all that mess.
This might be the type of thing that I could make. I mean,
yeah.
All you do is you measure the ingredients and you pour it in a bowl and you mix it up and pour it in a bowl. And then you turn it on.
It don't take long. So.
Could you put actual ribbons of peanut butter in it? Like, is that possible?
Yes.
This might be something that I could start cooking. I could be an ice cream cook. I feel like that's just one step up from making cereal.
Oh, yeah.
No heat involved, nothing sharp involved, right?
No.
What's the most dangerous thing that could happen? Electrical shock?
Yeah, but there ain't much. You don't have to worry about it.
I won't do it in the shower. No,
I don't think that'd be a good place to make ice cream.
I wasn't even going to. I was just saying. So I could do it unsupervised.
Yeah.
Lando is still very much like fixated on cooking and mostly Asian dishes.
I may have to call Lando and tell him about this machine and see what we can figure out.
Yeah, if you can get him to make it for me, I do like that idea. But
well, Link, we got a follow-up from Lisa, Riley's mother, where we thought he was having where he was scared of that there was monsters under his bed. And you and I talked to him about and I tried to help him not to make him afraid. And I came up with the thing and it says,
hold on. What did you say? Because I'm trying to remember.
Claus.
You said it. Just tell him it was Santa Claus under his bed.
Yeah. And so and
I said, don't. I was not with you on this. I remember, right?
But she says, "Hey, Charles and Link. Well, I showed Riley the clip of your advice about pretending Santa is under his bed.
I told you not to do it.
And I don't know if it's related, but ever since, he's been on his best behavior and seems to be less scared of monsters. So I guess that's a win." Lots of love is what she put. LOL, laugh at, but lots of love. Because you heard me say that, and they said, "I wonder if he's waiting for Santa to come out under his bed on Christmas Eve, and I'll have to have another chat with him, I guess."
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks, I think.
Right. Well, okay, so you won this battle, but the war is not over because, like she said, come Christmas, he's going to expect somebody to come crawling out from under that bed.
Oh, no, because, Lisa, you need to have Riley listen to this video because I'm going to tell him now. Santa can just be around all year long and kind of watch him, but when it gets around December, he's got to go back to the North Pole and get all these presents that you're being good for, and he won't be able to stay up under the bed for that part of the month and everything, he won't crawl out from under the bed. If y'all Santa usually comes down a chimney or comes down somewhere while you're asleep and comes in and gives you all your presents, and you don't even need to worry about that. You just go on to bed on Christmas Eve, and then after Christmas is over with, you can check and see if he might be back under your bed. But after a year of this going on, you ought to feel pretty comfortable that there's not any more monsters under your bed, and just be thankful that Santa Claus made you feel good about not having monsters under your bed anymore.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking.
Well, I'm thinking, I'm like reassessing my entire childhood because you're really good at lying to children. It's kind of scary. It's like, I'm just reliving all the things you told me.
Well,
you're too good at it.
So, because I'm old. I still think, I tell children, I think there's still a Santa Claus. So, I reckon I am good at lying about it.
Okay, yeah, you won so far. Let's see what happens.
We'll
Lisa, keep us posted, please. Come Christmas time.
But thanks for sending us back in the email that at least you got, hey, it sounds like she's pretty happy that she's got a good little boy running around the house now.
Yeah. So
far, so good. So just let us know, like Link said, about Christmas, after Christmas, what goes on with Riley. See how it all works out, and we'll see who wins that time.
Yep.
With him. Yeah. It's time for another edition of Myrtle Beach Mailbag. Well, Link, we got some emails, and one's from Austin.
Okay.
And it says, "Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
I was watching an episode of Ear Biscuits years ago when Rhett and Link discussed using the button in the restroom.
Yeah.
I cannot believe I never knew this existed, and it has saved my khakis many times over. Charles, I'd like to see if you can guess what the button is before he tells you, though, because it tain't obvious. Oh, Lord. Well, the only thing, a button
Mm-hmm.
in the restroom.
Mm-hmm. Saving his khakis.
Saving the khakis. The only thing I know about a restroom and a button is that, some commodes have a thing where you just flush on the side or the front of them, but some of them's got a button kind of up in the middle of them where you just press it and makes it.
Well, how is that going to save his khakis?
I don't know. Let's see. Why would you have a button and he's saving his khakis?
I'll give you a hint. The button is not on any
John.
external device.
Okay.
The button is on you. That's my hint.
The button is on me, so it'd be your belly button.
Nope. He gave you a hint there. Like, read the last line again.
Because it tain't obvious.
Uh-huh. That's a hint.
It is?
Yeah.
Taint.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Taint obvious.
Mm-hmm. What's the taint?
Mm.
I've told you this now.
You have?
Yeah. It taints your balls and it taints your butthole. But it's right in the middle. That's your taint.
Your tail hole.
No, it's in between your tail hole and your scrotum.
And it's in between your tail hole and your scrotum.
Yeah. And that's what the taint is, okay? And that's his
okay.
Hint. But I'll go ahead and tell you, when you're peeing, if you think you're done, and you just go, what do you do at that point when you think you're done?
Shake it.
Shake it. Now, when you shake it, you might be getting some something on your khakis. But even if you don't shake good, or if the shake doesn't do it, and then you pull up your khakis, then you're gonna have a little dribble in your khakis. Right?
Yep.
You're gonna have a little dribble through your underwear into your khakis. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yep. But not if you push the button. So you just reach around in there and you just give a little to the taint. Yeah, when you're just down there, you just boop, just a little boop, just a little push to the button. Yeah. Just boop. It'll give a little bit. Boop. And that's it.
So in between.
I'm not saying you shouldn't shake, but when you're done, you push the little button, make sure there's not a little boop. Push the button. Boop. So, and a little bit like that. It's more like a boop.
So in between your thing and your testicles, you push a little button.
No, in between your testicles and your tail hole, as you call it. Your tail hole.
Okay. All right.
It just kind of, you give a little push, a little squeeze down there. It'll send everything, that last little bit on its way.
Oh, okay. Well,
what you think about that?
I like to see if I can remember this and push the button on my taint to make sure it's working.
Yeah, that's right. It can't hurt. Well, it can hurt if you push the button real hard. Clamp down on it. You're welcome.
Well, you're welcome, Austin.
No, I'm saying you're welcome. I'm the one who
Yeah,
You're saying thank you, I think.
But you and Rhett, the one started it, the button in the restroom.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Somebody told me. I didn't come up with it. I don't remember who it was, but somebody told me. Now I'm telling you. So you might have won the Santa under the bed, but I feel like this is my win.
Oh yeah, you won. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Give it a try, Austin.
Okay. Yeah.
Give it a try, Dad.
Try, Austin. Yeah. Push that button.
Yeah.
I got to think about this one.
It doesn't hurt. You're wincing. You don't have to.
Oh, okay. It don't hurt. Okay.
It didn't hurt.
All right. Rhett and Link are celebrating 40 years of friendship with a special merch drop. Shop their 40th Friendiversary pin set, which is not limited edition, and sweatshirt now at mythical.com. Why do you want to learn a new language? Maybe you're looking to advance in your career, want to appreciate other cultures through films, music, and art, or just want to improve your brain function. Studies have shown that learning a new language can improve memory, problem-solving skills, and even delay the onset of dementia. In comes Rosetta Stone, the most trusted language learning program, available on desktop or as an app. It truly immerses you in the language you want to learn. Rosetta Stone has been a trusted expert for 30 years with millions of users and 25 languages offered. It provides fast language acquisition with no English translations, so you really learn to speak, listen, and think in that language. Plus, their built-in true accent features gives you feedback on your pronunciation. It's like having a personal trainer for your accent. Don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. For a very limited time, Dispatches from Myrtle Beach listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/dispatches. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/dispatches today. Well, Link, I got another email from Alex, and it says, I have a question and something I want to tell you. My dad died when I was a freshman in high school, and I've always wondered if he would be proud of me. I run my own business now at 28 years old and think about him all the time. Listening to you tell Link how proud you are of him on occasions always makes me think of what my dad would say to me now. My question is, what brought you peace when your dad died, Charles? And I would say, you too, Link, when Papa passed away. Well, I thought about this a little bit, Alex, and when Link lost his Papa and I lost my dad, it's a whole different thing because we got to spend time with him until he was older and stuff, and I don't know if I can really relate from my heart what it really feels like when you're a freshman in high school, what it would feel like to lose my father. But, you know, the thing that I can tell you is that when me and Link both, we saw my dad kind of suffer, and when he was really sick, but when it got to where he couldn't see anymore because of macular degeneration, and he just didn't ever have any more joy, very little time about what was going on around him because he couldn't see and he couldn't get up and do things for him. And when the grandkids and Link and them would come and see him, he would perk up some and be able to have a lot better disposition. But knowing that after when he got sick and with the different things that went on with him, and that when he passed away, that I knew that he, and this is what I believe, that my dad went to heaven, and when he got there, he could see again, and he was in an environment where he didn't have to worry about being sick, and us taking Mama and Teresa and everybody taking him back to the doctor, and we didn't have to worry about what was going on with him, and it gave me peace that he knew where he was going to heaven, and that he was in a better place. And that's just that's how I feel about what happened to my dad and Link's granddaddy.
Yeah, there's a lot of comfort in that, and also that he lived a long and fruitful life, and he communicated how much he loved us and supported us and was proud of us a lot through his life. So I do feel for anyone who lost their parents when they were younger. It's such a formative time, because we were able to benefit from that, and I'm able to benefit from that from you as well, because he was in law enforcement and he was always potentially in harm's way. Was that something that when you were younger were you ever anxious about that something could happen to him in the line of duty?
Well, I thought about that some when I was growing up, and after I was in my 20s and 30s, and I guess even 40s, when he was still a police officer,
Mm-hmm.
that something could happen to him. But I didn't dwell on that a lot, because I knew how much my daddy and your papa loved what he did.
Yeah.
And if something happened to him, he was doing what he loved. But my daddy and your papa, in the age that they grew up, he could get along with all types of people, and whether it was people that didn't break the law and people that did, because I don't know how it was, and I think we have a little bit of that in us, because we can relate and talk to people. But he could, if they were in a bad situation with some of the people that had a gun and was going to do something, a lot of times, especially when that is with the sheriff's department and the police department, that they'd call him and let him, because he knew these people most of the time, and those people, even though they were criminals, they respected our daddy,
Mm-hmm.
my daddy and your granddaddy. And he could talk to them and tell them it just wasn't worth. And they would listen to him, and most of the time, they just turned themselves in, just come out, and they turned themselves into daddy. So, it was a thing that he was really good at what he did. And I didn't, if something had to happen, I think it worried Mama more than it did any of us,
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that he might not come back when he went out to work sometime.
But the only thing, when I was young, I remember that there was that he had pulled somebody over on the bridge, and then he was out of the car, and then a bread truck came along and hit the car, the police car. But that, it was more like a traffic stop type thing, that could have killed him.
Oh yeah, that the good Lord, somebody was looking after him that day, because he had time enough to see what was going on that day, that he jumped back in the police car instead of standing beside the road where the car could run over him. And then that's when it hit him, and it went across the road and almost went across the river bridge down in the river.
Oh, wow. But were there other times when he had like a brush with death as a police officer? Like gunplay or any of that type of stuff?
Well, I know of one time especially, and I don't know whether or not to do this or not, but when he was the detective with the sheriff's department in Harnett County, and there was a man named, and he lived up where I used to own a farm at Raven Rock, and that's where he lived. And this dude, he had been in prison for killing somebody and got out and had done some stuff wrong and everything. And he was barricaded in his mobile home, and a bunch of deputies was up there, and they had a warrant out on him for his arrest for something else he'd done.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know if Daddy was working that night, but they called Daddy on the phone because Daddy knew this man. And that was one of the times that they called him up there, and Daddy told me later on, he said, "That's as scared as I've ever been in my life, for my life." He said, because I knew who was, and that he'd killed somebody before, and that he would probably do it again. But they said, I went up there and talked to him and told him that it just wasn't worth what he was doing. And he told him, he said, "You know you're going to have to go back to jail, but you might as well just come out instead of killing me or somebody else. You might as well put your gun down and come on out." And he told my daddy, he said, "If it weren't for you coming up here, this would be a bloodbath tonight," because he said, "I'd made my mind up. I won't coming out of here."
Mm.
And he threw his gun out the thing and come out and turned himself in, and they locked him up.
Well, that's a cool story to hear. I'm glad I asked. It's always good to remember Papa and think about him because we love him so much.
So, Alex, I think that with you being successful in your life now, that somehow or another your dad has looked down on you, and that he's proud of you for what you've done and endured since he passed away when you were in high school.
And we're proud of you, Alex, for what that's worth. I don't know exactly what you do, but you better keep making us proud now.
That's got, like I said, that's got to be when you're just got to be a teenager, that when you lose your father, and then sounds like he pretty much, him and your mother, I guess, raised you pretty good before then, and he had already instilled in you some things that you knew what you needed to do, and you've been successful because of some of the things that he did for you in your lifetime.
There you go.
You can send us another email in with what you think about what we talked about, and I'd appreciate it. Well, Link, it was fun having you all here with us today, all you Myrtle Beasts, and we'll be back next week for another one. And don't forget to follow and subscribe whenever you get your podcast on YouTube. And while you're at it, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. And if you got a question, a comment, or story you'd like to share with me, email me at ratherbeshaggin53@aol.com. And y'all have a great rest of the week, and we can't wait to jam out in the jungle again next time.
Jam out in the jungle? Yeah. That's right. Yep. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you.